everyone, and welcome to ES Repair again. Today we're going to do another carburetor cleaning video, but it's on a Weed Eater FB25 25cc gas powered blower. Practically brand new one. The guy had it. I read it belonged to a deacon in his church. He let him take it to fix it, but he getting too old and health bad to fix it, so he let me take it. It's practically new, but it won't run, but the guy couldn't take it back because he lost a receipt. So let that be a lesson. Keep up your receipt. Anyway, you start by squeezing that right there in, and that takes your breather off. And pop it off there. And we're working in the water from the previous video. Then you got to have the Allen keys here to take it loose. I already worked on it once before Mr. Fix-It come in to do the camera. The guy wanting it back, but all it was, the fuel lines were switched. And plus somebody else had had it apart. So you gotta have a 5/32 Allen thing to fit them. Put it all together and you can keep up with it now. And here's the two lines. The return line is the bigger line on this. The fuel inlet line is the smaller one. What that does is, when you're pushing on it, it lets the pumps it in this way till the carburetor lets you go back. And if you look down in the carburetor, the one with the fuel filter on it down in there, if you can see it, is the small one. The return, it just sticks through there just a little bit, just enough to stay in there and squirts fluid back when you pump the bubble. And them two were swapped. I guess that's the factory, I don't know. Okay. And you take a flat screwdriver or a Phillips to take the bubble off. And since this is practically a brand new tool, it shouldn't be that dirty, especially since I done went through it. Right. And that takes all that off. Keep up the bubbles. The gaskets, screws. Okay now, as you can tell, the carburetor ain't that dirty. Take a splatter of Phillips, loosen these. This is where your diaphragm is and your needle valve. Pop it off. There you go. There's your needle valve. Okay, then you take a Phillips, take that screw out, and it'll all come out the needle valve, and that spring there, and there it all is. That goes through to your screen and all that. Carburetor cleaner. Remember your safety glasses and wire. Okay, put your glasses on again. Try not to get carburetor cleaner on your gaskets. It messes them up. I don't know why with gas going through them. I do think I'm about out of carburetor cleaner again.
No, surely not. You'd think a true believer of carburetor cleaner would have extra.
Well, I did, but I done used it all and I ain't had time to get back to Wally World.
Uh-huh.
So I ain't gonna really try to clean this too much because it's already been cleaned. But follow your same steps with the wire and everything that I did in other carburetor videos. Just poke all your holes out. On these, you really gotta be careful, especially if you use an air hose and even if you hold it back. Just poke all the holes. There's your high and low screws. You gotta have a special tool, which I've got, but I'm not gonna fool with them. Like I said, the carburetor's practically new. Make sure you got your safety glass on, fill in carburetor cleaner. Put your spring back. Take your fork. It goes with that little indentation down, bowed down. Then you make sure your little pin is through there. And that spring goes on that little indentation down there. Make sure it's straight level. Work it in there. Get it down in there good. And take that same screw, which is the flat-headed one. Just screw it back in. That's what holds that down. Okay, that flapper there should be about even with all that through there. And you make sure it's working the needle valve up and down, up and down. Okay, little trick you can do is kind of spray carburetor cleaner in there like so. Then when you press that needle valve, see how fast it goes through? That's how you check to see that everything is open, like it's green and everything. See how much faster it goes through when I take that screen out? That's what it should do with the screen in. Okay? Since it don't go through there too good, I'm going to make a real small hole in the screen there. Which really ain't good because it can let trash go through it and start the carburetor up, but in this case, I don't have a new one to go in it. Now when you spray it again, See, it goes through a little faster. See how it goes through? Okay. Okay. Now you take, remember on this, the thin diaphragm goes against the back metal plate, then the thick one goes against the carburetor. You just put it back together like so, and put the two screws back in it. Tighten them down good. Okay. On the other one, your thin goes next to your carburetor, and then the thick one goes against it. The back part. So remember on this side, it's thin, the carburetor.
And it's easy to get confused too.
Yep. And the nozzles point both ways. Same direction that your hose things. Make sure it all matches the shape. Put the new kit in it and everything matches up. Like so. Then you just put it together. Then you got your bubble. Then you got the bubble thing that goes over the top of it that holds it in. Line it up. Put it all back together. And screw it all back down and tighten it up. And tighten it down really good. Now when you put it back together, some of them has got the throttle on it, the trigger, you got a little thing on it, instead of one of these where it works it, a little cable. But we ain't got to worry about that. Remember, it goes like this. The little line which got the filter on it goes down here, slides on. The big line, the return, goes pretty next to the bubble. Make sure the bubble's going to kind of work right. Okay. Then you take your other yellow plate, work it through there, and work this screw through, like so. Then you start it a little. Take your other screw, put it in the bottom, get it started like it's supposed to be. And sometimes there's a gasket through here, which is all the time, and there it is. It didn't come off, so we ain't got to worry about that. Comes off, you got to put it back and orientate it the right direction it goes. And tighten it up real good, but don't over tighten it, because just plastic, you'll strip it. Don't ask how I know that.
Yeah, we're not going to name names.
And tighten it down good, because it can't have no air leaks or nothing, or it won't run right, prime right. but you can't over tighten it. Everything's working right. That's your choke, or your throttle rather, and here's your choke. Then you just put your air filter back. And it pops in there. Bring it up, pop it in. Then start it, full choke over here. And if you have fuel in it, you'd prime it up, but I ain't got fuel in it right now. Gonna have to go run around the house and get me some. Okay. Since this has been pouring gas out, we figured it was flooded since it didn't want to start. To cure that problem, you can pop your spark plug wire off, unscrew your spark plug, see if it's wet. If it is, dry it off real good, and maybe possibly spray it with carburetor cleaner and wipe it off again. Then kind of clean out any trash with a screwdriver, a small prick, stain, like a seal puller, to kind of get it cleaned. Make sure there's nothing in there that can file it out between the electrodes. Then you can, while it's out, you just kind of pull on it a little bit, spark plug out, squirt any gas out. Or, since the carburetor spark plug's here in front, you can turn it up or whatever way so that it'll pour out of the carburetor thing, out of the spark plug hole. Then you can pull on your rope and kind of pull it out. Or you can take your air hose and kind of hold back and kind of spray down in there. Then, after you get it all out and dry and everything, put it all back together. Screw your spark plug in good tight, but don't over tighten the strip some and put your wire back on. Then try it with the choke off at high speed or pull it a few times. Then if that don't fix it, then you can choke it. You may have to prime your bulb a little too. But we've already done that, got it hot, so and you kill this one by holding the lever up. It ain't got one of the triggers on it that works the carburetor with the cable I was talking about earlier. And if you can turn it here, you can see the lines, like I was talking. The big one is your return, it comes off the bubble. And the little one, so you can watch the bubbles in there, and when I push it, you can see them going down that line and up that one. They may run back a little bit when I let off the bubble, but see? Okay, now we're going to try it again. Well, it's running. This one don't have a kill switch, separate little rock switch made in it. You just hold that up and it kills it. And when you get it good and warm or hot, sometimes you start it back without choking it. Just leave it in run position. Or if you have to, try to half choke first. Then, this here is the carburetor tool that I use to adjust it, which is kind of like a socket star wrench. It's $11. Baylor at your small engine dealer. You may have to order it. Then that fits on them little small spokes down there. You got your high and low. Some carburetors just have one. And it works on Zama or Walboro. And that way I put them gaskets in order, it's the same thing on the Walboro 2 carburetor. The fuel line. And as we was talking, you can see the bubbles. The small one, it goes inlet. It's one hooked to the filter. Sometimes they're the same size. You got to look one's hooked to the filter. And then return there, the bigger one goes to the bubble. If they're the same size, line filter broke off, you don't know. The one coming from the bubble there is always your return. So you can watch the bubble and how it squirts through there, comes out to there, and up to there. And I'm going to start it back and burn it off. So far this has fixed this one again. Thought so last time, but it started leaking. But anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.